Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make rosemary olive oil bread. So let's get started. To make the dough, I'm choosing to use a food processor because it's really quick and easy. If you don't have one, you can just mix and knead the dough by hand, and I'll explain more about that later. So add in the flour. I'm using half all-purpose and half bread flour. You can use just all-purpose or just bread flour, it doesn't really matter. And instant dry yeast. And just mix them together to combine them and to make sure the salt won't come into direct contact with the yeast, because the salt will kill the yeast. Then add in the salt and the olive oil. Then with the machine running, slowly pour in the warm water just until it comes together into a ball. Add in more water if needed, a little at a time, just until it comes together into a ball. Once it forms a ball, keep the machine running for another 30 seconds. Then turn it out onto a lightly floured work surface and knead it until it's smooth. So if you're doing this by hand, just mix the ingredients together into a bowl, then add in just enough water so it comes together into a ball, and knead it on the floured work surface for 5 minutes. Then add in the chopped fresh rosemary leaves, and knead them in until they're evenly distributed through the dough. Then shape it into a smooth ball. Lightly grease a medium bowl. Place the dough into the bowl. Turn it over to coat the dough in the oil. Wrap it in plastic wrap and let it rise in a warm place for 1 to 2 hours until it doubles in size. Once it's doubled in size, turn it out onto a lightly floured work surface. Press it down to get rid of the air, and pull and tuck the edges underneath it into the center so you get a smooth top. And pinch the seam closed. Line a medium bowl with a clean kitchen towel and liberally flour it so the dough doesn't stick to it. Place the dough top sides down into the bowl. Wrap it in plastic wrap and let it rise in a warm place for about an hour or two until it's puffed up but not doubled in size. About 30 minutes before the dough is ready, preheat the oven to 425 degrees. And place a stone pan into the oven so it gets nice and hot. And place a cast iron pan onto the rack below it. This is totally optional. You can just bake the bread on a baking sheet, but this will help give a nice crust to the bread. Line the back of a baking sheet with parchment paper and turn the dough out onto it. Brush off excess flour, but don't brush all of it off. Cut a few slashes in the top using a serrated knife. And place the bread into the oven on top of the stone pan if you're using it. And carefully add 1 cup of hot water into the hot cast iron pan. It will steam a lot, so be careful. And close the oven immediately so the steam doesn't escape, and bake it for about 30 to 40 minutes until it has a nice brown crust and it reaches an internal temperature of 200 degrees or above. So when it's ready, remove it from the oven, sliding it back onto the baking sheet, and let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. And it's best served while it's still hot. And that's how to make rosemary olive oil bread. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I have so many more on my channel, so be sure to check them out and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.